can you get Courtney and your book and her book and come to the carpet, please? Eric, can you get the book you're reading and come to the carpet with me, please? Let's just take your, we're going to talk about the books you're reading, so you join us, please. Although I usually keep my guided reading groups divided by ability, I often mix them up using an objective that can be taught to anyone in a heterogeneously grouped configuration. That's what I want to do with you today, is talk about what you have right now that you're reading, what are the challenges in it, and how do you solve those challenges to read the story. Helen, can you begin by telling us, right now your books can be closed because Helen's going to talk. Is there a challenge in those words?
They're kind of squished together.
Okay, so what do you know that you could maybe use to help you with words that are spaced so closely together?
Sometimes I do that.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember what I showed you this morning with this? Would that help you? You want to try that? Show us how that would work.
Caw, 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 sings the crow down to the field is where I'll go.
Wow, that paper seemed like it really helped you. Excellent. And what I wrote down here for today was Helen showed me her challenge was the tight spacing. And her solution is to use a bookmark to help her stay on track. Kara, you read this earlier with your group, Arthur's New Puppy. What kind of challenges did you find in that story?
There was that I didn't know.
Do you remember one? Could you find one quickly, do you think? Mainly, I just don't want anyone to feel like they are already pegged as a high or a low reader. I want everyone to feel like they're doing the best at their level and not even worry about who they're with. Okay. All right, Courtney, let's see what book you're reading. You want to show us the cover and tell us what you've been reading today?
I read May I Bring a Friend.
And did you have any challenges in reading that book?
I thought that was Queen too, because Queen and Queen. I told the Queen, I told the Queen. I don't think that makes sense.
It doesn't. I think this is what you need, because it looks like your eyes went back and forth between those two lines. Try this to focus on one line at a time and see if that helps, Courtney.
I told the Queen and I told the King.
Well, let's read this second line more carefully and slowly.
And the Queen told the King.
Now let's read both of those together.
I told the Queen and the Queen told the King. I had a friend I wanted to bring.
Does that make better sense now? Yes. So what happened there? The boy told the Queen, and then what did the Queen do?
The Queen told the King.
Right. Right. You know, I love this book, but you're right. The words are... I can do a status check with reading just by monitoring my kids and noting what books they're reading out of with the date and what miscues they're making, what strengths they're using. In writing, I try to keep pretty much a daily status.
Things I Like by Mason. I like to go to school because I like school.
Writing workshop is an instructional approach that values time for the writer to write, a choice in what the writer chooses as a topic, and response.
I like Spanish and I like recess.
The writer gets to go through the whole process and publish so that that writing can be shared. Then they get to celebrate it. Mason, if you want to call on a couple of kids who have their hands up.
Catherine. I like the books, so I like music.
At celebrations for published books, we just do compliments because the book is finished then, and they're not going to go back and make any changes.
Because I like PE too. It's a great book.
All right. Thank you, Mason. So, I want you to show me what responsible writers look like when they go get their writing folder or their WW journal, your pencils, whatever it is you need to do. If you are in the editing group, Abby, Tom, Chris, and Kevin, just stay right here and we'll talk. Oh, actually, drafting, of course, especially in first grade, includes some oral rehearsing.
I have 2 brothers.
Then we go into sharing, which hopefully will lead to some revision.
Is 3, and we fight a lot. I get in a lot of trouble.
Today, I introduced the editing checklist, which normally I would say for, say, mid-semester, but this group of children need it.
I like your story.
Okay. Can you write that here on these lines? I like your story. You were a pretty good listener on that story. Was there anything that Trent left out that left you wondering? Is there some other information he needs to add to his story?
I think at one part, he doesn't get in really much more, in like a lot of fights. Only some.
The part about where he and Jane fight a lot?
Yeah.
Do you think that maybe he needs to explain that they don't fight all the time?
Yeah.
Let's reread that piece, that part here.
Right here.
All right, here you go.
Jane is 3. And
first graders are reluctant to revise once they've written the draft. They think it's finished.
In a lot of trouble.
Editing, I expect them to be able to self-edit for capitals and periods or whatever punctuation is in our Texas Essential Knowledge and Skills curriculum. Publishing is a part that I do for them a lot of times. If it's a book, I will take their edited draft home and type it and then bring it back for them to illustrate and turn into a book. Of course, if the child has drafted and edited, say, their title page or their Meet the Author or their dedication page, I'll let them publish it on the computer. I have one child who is drafting, editing, and publishing on the computer. He's already shown great competency in the pencil paper method, so I feel like this is an appropriate step for him. First grade writers, I know that you're in the middle of something. We always are, but our time is up and it's time to share. So if you will put away your supplies and meet us on the carpet, if you have something to share, now's the time. Put that in your desk, sweetie. Tomorrow will be your turn. Good morning. Hello, Courtney, Lily, Bonnie. I'm looking for first graders who are unpacking their backpacks, checking the pockets of their binders. Let's see, what else do we have on our note? Sharpen a pencil or 2. Check your home reader and then get your Great Bear book. Thank you. My classroom arrangement has always been a struggle for me. I want the children to be able to work in groups, and yet I like for there to be places to get away from the group and to work individually or in pairs. Thank you. I also do have, I feel, pretty high expectations for independence, and I try to reward them with giving them lots of choices and freedoms with that, and I think that kind of translates kind of in an unspoken way into a feeling of self-esteem. Emily, Trent, Abby, and Becky, right here on the carpet. So y'all just come to the carpet and wait.
I'm going to go.
And everyone else is going to look for their books that they're going to be reading. Yes, you can. I'll show you how to. Mason, will you show Lily how to do the magnets? And then the process approach does take on a life of its own, because even though I may start with my own curriculum, which is of course our state curriculum, the children each bring what their prior knowledge is to it and their needs. And so I'll change it according to that. And Eric, you need to get a book that's a little more challenging, please. Let's put this up. Let's find a better fit.
And then for Mark and
TW,
thank you.
Mother.
It didn't quite make sense, did it? My mother got a quilt to me. Let's take another look at that word. That makes better sense.
And hold your papers. I want everybody to hold your papers. Can you show me how to do it? How are we going to hold our papers? Just like this. And we're going to talk out and not down, okay? And real loud, big voices.
Arthur loved his new puppy and Pal loved Arthur. He's a very active puppy. He's a very naughty puppy. Don't worry, I'll have him trained in no time. Arthur took his puppy to his new home in the garage. Here's your new
The group for Readers Theater had 3 children who were pretty much the same level and 1 child who was actually several levels below them officially.
For a day or two.
And yet the group wanted to work together. The child who is the lowest reader is a very motivated, very serious student.
The way his puppy book showed. Look, he's so excited.
And through practicing, I noticed today she was stellar in her performance. And I feel like her reading level may have actually increased overnight with that activity.
I'll get your leash. But Arthur couldn't find the leash anywhere. I'll help you look. It has to be somewhere. No one noticed Pal one behind the rose bushes.
I think we thought there should be more. That was excellent. On the last day of school, I want to see kids who love reading and writing and who are a little bit sad that school's over. Give them a big clap.